it's refreshing to see this amount of solidarity about what's happening at the moment in Mexico and the relation, this absurd discussion about a wall being built between Mexico and the States. There's no better place to send the message than Berlin, you know, and it's happening, and I'm glad to be witnessing this, and I'm glad to be part of it. This is an inclusive city. This is an inclusive festival that celebrates diversity, you know, and that in fact talks about the richness of diversity. We are in a time where it's kind of nice to be in Berlin. There's no borders for cinema. There's a sense of empathy for what so many Mexicans are going through in both sides of the border, and I kind of love that, you know. I feel it makes me feel hope, you know, and yeah, it's I mean, every crisis brings a reaction, you know, and I'm glad the reaction is being so loud, and we have to resist. We have to resist. One thing that needs to happen now, you know, as a reaction to what Trump is bringing to the table, is that we have to find these connections with the rest of the world, you know. We Mexicans, and this is not just for you know, for cinema, for the cinema industry, it applies for every industry in Mexico. We cannot depend so much in the States, you know. We have to find connections, first of all, with Latin America, you know, because we're fragmented, like our films don't travel. And that makes no sense, you know. We speak the same language. We should think as one, you know. And same thing with Europe, you know. And when you have a need to communicate, when you have a need to tell stories, you find your way, and we all found our way, you know. And as an actor, you can travel a lot, you know, and it's beautiful to go as far as possible from where you come from to tell a story. I had many of those till I decided, well, I want to tell my own stories, and it's because I had reference like Alfonso, like Guillermo, like Alejandro, like Regadas, yeah. Those guys that you know, they were not following any rules. They were creating their own, you know. Mexican cinema lives from some tax incentives and from funds from the government or other institutions, and what that gives is it's a lot of freedom to filmmakers, you know. It's interesting what's happening today in Mexico, because I don't believe that freedom can be experienced in many other places, you know. So filmmakers are actually telling the stories they want to tell, you know, not following any industry rules or market rules, you know. If we have something to learn, in fact, is that how to be better in the market, you know, how to make our films travel, not just in the niche of festivals, but commercially. Let me think of this, because I don't know how to answer this. I have a lot of hope in all those people that think like I do, that live in the States, you know. And there's so many, and they're getting loud now, and they don't want to lose that connection they already established, you know, and that has made them so great, such a fantastic country in so many ways, you know. Again, Hollywood is a result of that, you know. It's a result of diversity, diversity at its best, you know, telling stories and taking risks, and all those voices are still there, you know. It was interesting in Rogue One, because everyone cared a lot about the film, you know, because we're talking about something that we have a very strong and long connection with. So you could tell that people were there because they wanted to, because they needed to. Not because of the paycheck, you know. So it's not about money, you know. Then yes, of course, the tools we had and the toys around us, were, you know, it's something I've never seen put together for just one project, you know. Yes, I did feel like a kid many times. And many times I found myself just looking at stuff like a fan, you know, like, wow, what is that? And I had to pinch myself and remind myself I was there to deliver, you know, my work as an actor. Yes, there's a before and after, definitely, in many ways, you know. In many ways. I got to travel with my work to places I've never been as a tourist, you know. And I guess, yeah, something that I felt was already happening in Mexico and in the States, now it's happening also in Germany and also in Japan and China. And that's exciting because I think that's going to bring freedom to my life, you know. I'm going to be able to choose what I want to do and make sure I can do this for a longer time. And that freedom I love. Yeah.